Nelson Mandela's story begins in a small village called Memvezo in South Africa, where he was born on July 18, 1918. His birth name was Rolihlala, a Xhosa word that means pulling the branch of a tree, or more famously, troublemaker. No one knew then that this troublemaker would one day challenge one of the most powerful systems of injustice in the world. Mandela grew up in a humble mud hut, surrounded by rolling hills and open fields. His childhood was simple, running barefoot in the grass, herding cattle, swimming in streams, and listening to the elders tell stories of brave warriors. These stories planted the first seeds of courage in his heart. When Mandela was just 9 years old, his father passed away, and his life changed forever. He was taken to the home of Chief Jungintaba, who raised him like his own son. Living in the chief's palace introduced Mandela to leadership, tradition, and responsibility. At school, his teacher gave him the English name Nelson. He became a curious and hard-working student, inspired by the belief that education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. As he grew older, Mandela became aware of the harsh realities of apartheid, a system that separated people by race and treated black South Africans as less than human. This injustice lit a fire inside him. At 16, during a traditional ceremony marking his passage into manhood, he felt the responsibility to fight for his people's freedom. When his guardian arranged a marriage he did not want, Mandela made a bold decision. He ran away to Johannesburg. The city was full of life, but also full of struggle. He worked small jobs, studied at night, and pushed himself to pursue a law degree. Mandela soon joined the African National Congress, ANC. With other young activists, he formed the ANC Youth League, determined to bring real change. His voice was powerful, his courage contagious. He dreamed of a country where everyone, black, white, Indian, or colored, could live as equals. In 1952, he opened the first black law firm in South Africa with his friend Oliver Tambo, helping countless people who were victims of unfair apartheid laws. But the government saw Mandela as a threat. After peaceful protests were met with violence, including the tragic Sharpeville massacre, Mandela realized that resistance needed to be stronger. He helped form Umkhonto weSizwe, the Spear of the Nation, a group that aimed to sabotage apartheid systems without harming innocent people. Mandela moved from place to place in disguise, earning the nickname the Black Pimpernel. But in 1962, he was captured and put on trial. In court, he delivered his legendary speech, "I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society. It is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." Mandela was sentenced to life in prison and sent to Robben Island. The conditions were brutal. A tiny cell, hard labor, very little contact with his family. Yet he refused to be broken. He studied, taught, and transformed himself into a symbol of hope for millions around the world. For 27 years, the world chanted one message: "Free Nelson Mandela." And finally, on February 11, 1990, Mandela walked out of prison, tall, calm, and unshaken. His first message to the world was about unity, not revenge. He believed that forgiveness heals more than hatred ever could. In 1994, South Africa held its first democratic elections, and Nelson Mandela became the country's first black president. His leadership focused on healing the nation. One unforgettable moment was when he wore the Springboks rugby jersey,
a powerful symbol of unity that helped bring the entire country together. After serving one term, Mandela stepped down with grace, proving that true leaders do not cling to power. He spent the rest of his life promoting peace, education, and equality around the world. Nelson Mandela passed away in 2013 at the age of 95, leaving behind a legacy stronger than any monument. His life teaches us, never give up, no matter how hard the path gets. Forgiveness is stronger than hate. One person can truly change the world. Mandela once said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." And this is the story of a man who rose again and again until he changed the destiny of a nation.